Hello and welcome to the latest Lukozer PC game review videos. I think this one means the number of games I've reviewed for PC is now in the double figures. I honestly didn't think that was ever going to happen. Anyway, this one is Need for Speed Rivals, which despite being over a year old is still the latest of the Need for Speed series. Now, the Need for Speed series has a bit of a checkered history. For every good game that there was in the past, say Most Wanted, they had an utter shit one. Say, for example, Carbon. And Carbon really was a fucking pile of shit, you know. Or Pro Street, which is better than Carbon, but then few games fail to be better than Need for Speed Carbon. But Pro Street was also a stinking turd on your hard drive. But the Need for Speed series went on a bit of a roll. It actually, you know, there were a bit of a run of decent Need for Speed titles, and this is the most recent one. Now, it is, well, the PC version at least is pretty much a port from the console versions. It plays very much like a console game. It does also have some console limitations. I mean, for one thing, it's limited to 30 frames per second, no matter what settings you use. Initially I thought that was gonna be awful, but in fact it doesn't bother me at all, and it does also guarantee that the videos I do here, what you see on screen, should be exactly how it appears on mine. Emphasis on should be. So anyway, let's get on with the description of the game. This area here is the entire area that you drive through. It's a big old playing area. There are a significant number of races and events and what have you. Also these things here, which are your hideouts. These are the safe houses that you need to go to bank the points that you amass. There are a decent number of them, which is just as well, because you also need to come here to avoid pursuits when you've got the old bull on your tail. And believe me, that will happen enough times. There are also things like petrol stations, which don't actually give you any fuel because you don't have a fuel limit, but they do repair any damage to your car, and they also resupply you with ammunition. I'll come back to that in a minute. So needless to say, they are quite handy. Now, also on the map here you'll see what I've already pointed out, various events. So, whoops, no, we don't do that. So we have races, any number of them. If they appear as green like this, it means you've not done them yet. If they appear as gold, then that means that, well, obviously you got gold place position, you won it. I think there's a silver one around here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. So that one, okay, I, by some margin, am the best of the three people on my friends list who have done this event, but I only finished second. And the bronze one obviously finished third. I think if it stays green, it can also mean that you only finished 4th or lower, but I've never finished 4th or lower, so I don't know about that one. These ones, time trials, are quite simple. Get from point A to point B in as quick a time as possible. Do it within a certain time, you'd get the gold medal positioning. Do it in not so good a time like this one, then you get the silver medal. Not so good again, you get the bronze, and if you fail to even get the bronze time, then it will stay at green and you don't get anything. Hot pursuits, you have the police after you, I think. No, you don't actually know. The hot pursuits are, oh that's right, they're like the time trials, but you have other cars racing with you as well. So as well as trying to get the best score or the best time, you've also got to make sure that you finish ahead of anyone else. The interceptors, these are the ones where you've got the old bill after you, and you've got to try and shake them off in as quick a time as possible, which is sometimes easier said than done. Other things to look out for, you have the speed cameras here, so you can try and get, you don't get a huge amount for being the fastest through here. As you can see by this one, I'm only second fastest by a fair old distance actually. But it's more of a prestige thing, I think. Same with the speed zones. With these things, once you enter the speed zone, you then have to average a set amount of speed before you exit it again, and if you're decent enough speed, then you'll go top of the list. Pretty self-explanatory. And jumps, if you need me to explain what jumps are, then you really shouldn't be playing this game. So there we go. So that's what you see on the map. Now, in order to make your way through the game, you need to try and improve your rank. Skip that for the moment. And to improve your rank, you have to go through various numbers of events. So for example, when you first start, you have to do any one of these. The first rank ones, so you can start off with a race, so you bronze any time trial, use a repair shot, deplete your nitrous, and you've completed all 3 parts to finishing that one. And you progress on to level 2, and so on and so on. Now in fact, I've done the first 3, I've done all of the options within the first 3. In fact, I think I've done them all within the first 12, which is why my there we go, my rank in the racing career is at 44. I believe the maximum is 60, so I'm well over halfway to completely finishing it. I have completed the game in terms of I've completed both careers, and now I'm just going through to make sure I get everything I can. There is another career. There is the police career. I'll come to that in a bit after I've shown you a bit more of the racer. Then you have these things called pursuit tech. This is where the game takes a bit of a enormous leap from reality. You can equip your car with various equipment that will basically damage other cars, so that you can either damage your racing opponents or damage police who are coming after you. There's also one which is some kind of like super turbo booster, which has you going at enormous speeds. The trouble is with that, the car is very difficult to control, and if you so much as breathe on the side of the road, you're going to go crashing like you wouldn't know how. Anyway, Let's get down to the core of it then. Let's get on the road and do a spot of racing. Now you can start from any of the safe houses. Let's start this one. And away we go, once it loads. I keep forgetting it does take a little while to load, but here we are. So, starter up. I am in the Koenigsegg 11, which is a car that you only get once you have completed both the police and racer careers, and even then you have to have it. You have to have the DLC with it. The DLC for the Koenigsegg 11 is free, so you know, no problem there. Now I have a habit of driving on the wrong side of the road, or at least the wrong side of the road in this game. In fact, it's because I'm driving on the correct side of the road, because as I've frequently said, right is wrong, left is right. So, let's see if we make our way across the bridge without ploughing into anything. There is another racer I've just gone past. Now when you find other racers, you can challenge them to one-on-one, like head-to-head races. I think he's buggered off. No, he's still on his way. So, see if we can start a head-to-head. Now that 5 is his heat rating, which gives you an idea of how much the old Bill are going to be after him. My heat level is 4. Now 4 is not particularly great. They will be wanting you. But anyway, let's start a race, which I have. I've repaired my damage. And there's the police up ahead. So, fucking hell, and I've missed a turning. I'm almost certainly going to lose this race now. But I'll see if I can... I've just been smashed into big time by the fucking old Bill. I've got no hope of winning this race. I'll laid a mine, but that mine hasn't done anything. I laid another mine. That mine did hit a car. I've got to hit 3 police cars with mines in order to complete part of my speed wall to complete this move up on my you know what I'm fucking talking about, even if I sound like I don't. I've missed that fucking turning as well, so now I've got to do this again. Okay, there's the finish line, but I'm so fucking far behind, it's not true. Whoa! That was fucking close. I'm supposedly escaping the old Bill, but okay, they've caught up with me because I'm sliding around all over the fucking place. They got a roadblock out on the road. I made sure I avoided that, and I didn't avoid that. You cannot take unlimited damage. You need to be careful. And if you are damaged too much, you lose all of the points that you've accumulated. Now there is a hideout here, so there we go. We go in there and we escape that lot. So it has been some while since I last played this, consequently I am very rusty, as my playing there quite clearly illustrated. Right, well I've hit all the police with stun mines, and I don't really like using stun mines, so I'm going to replace that with the electrostatic field, which I do like using. So the ESF and the shockwave are the two pieces of pursuit tech that I usually have installed, so that's fine. Right, now it says the top objective is to gold any two interceptors. I've already got gold on one, so let's find a nice easy one to do, which is up here. It's almost right where you start, and this one is extremely easy to finish. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Here we go. Right, and here is the start of that interceptor. So, right, here we go. And there's the police car. Now I find it easiest just to keep trying to smash the police car up, because then he can't continue the pursuit, and then yeah, once he's been smashed up completely, he's finished. Shit, I don't want to waste this electroshock thing. There we go. He's in a bad way. That's him done. It means I've gold that interceptor. I've rear-rammed, I have to rear-ram 3 cops. I've done it once. I have to jam 3. That means I have to do a different piece of pursuit tech. Right, so anyway, that gives you, an idea of taking on the police. I'll do one more event, and we'll make this, just a good old racer event. This one is described as hard. Considering how stale and rusty I am at this, I don't fancy my chances. So, what's this one? Is an easy. I've already done it in my Koenigsegg 1.1. Let's find one that's easy I haven't done. Right, this one I did in the Lamborghini Veneno. So let's try it in the Koenigsegg. We are seeing one of the bad sides about the game. It is a bit slow to load in. Anyway, so we need to try and finish first. Here we go. I think there are only 4 races in this particular event. Oh, you fucker. Oh, okay, no, I haven't gone the wrong way. He's taking a shortcut. And now the old Bill are here. Whoa, okay, I thought I was going down there. How far do I have to go? There's one more checkpoint after this. I have a feeling I know where it is. Okay, no I don't, it's right there. So I won that one. Won that quite comfortably actually. So now to find a safe house. There's always a safe house shown on the mini-map in the bottom corner there, but it never gives you a particularly good idea of where it is. So there's one. We'll set the route. Now we know where to go and how far. 1.1 miles should make that no problem. Well, I think I'll repair that damage there, and then we'll head to the hideout, which is right here. Right, there you go. So that's the racing done. So that's a brief idea of what to do while you're in the racer career. I'll just quickly show you the police career. For the most part it's the same. Now, as you can see, for the police career I'm at level 40, so 2.5 million points. That's no problem. There are slightly different events with the police one. The first is the rapid response, where you basically have to get from where you start to an area where the police are required. So it's like the time trial events in the racer. Hot pursuits, you're going after a race that's has already started, and you need to try and stop as many or in fact all of the races as you can within a certain amount of time, and certainly before the race ends. And then the interceptor is exactly the same as it was for the one with the racer career, except this time you're the police trying to do the stopping rather than the racer trying to stop you. And all the other things such as the speed camera, speed zones and jumps and that are all still there as well. And your hideouts are different because well, you are at police bases, not at any just hideout. And the pursuit tech is a bit different, although you can see here I still have pretty much the same thing. The only difference is that the police have the shock ram as opposed to the not the whatever the shock is that the racers have. The shock ram only shoots out the front, whereas the shock one that the racers have shoots out all round. But the police one is a bit more powerful. But they do have some unique ones. You can call upon the helicopter to go after the racers that you're in pursuit of, and the helicopter will drop spike strips. The electrostatic field is what they have. The EMP, it's a bit like a missile. You have to get a lock onto the cars, and then once you've got the lock on them, it sends out this huge electrostatic pulse. It shuts down all their electrical systems. The roadblock, self-explanatory. You can set up a roadblock ahead of you. The shock ram, that's what I've got. And then the spike strip. So instead of doing the mines like the racers do, in the police you lay down a spike strip. But I mean the helicopter and the roadblock are, there's the roadblock, they are for the police only. The racers do get tech that only they have access to. That is the turbo, the super turbo thing, which sends you along at an almighty rate. So if I I need to gold any rapid response and gold any interceptor, and I have an interceptor there and a rapid response there, so there are two that are right next to me. So we may as well see how I do at one of those two. I'm in a Koenigsegg 11 police car, you know, your typical standard police car. I've lost count of the number of Koenigsegg 11s I've seen out on the streets in Southend. I mean, people sort of say that, you know, it's not very realistic having Koenigsegg's as police cars. In fact, well, although it's not Koenigsegg, in Abu Dhabi they do have Lamborghinis that are police cars. I think they're either Gallardos or Aventadors, which would be quite something. Anyway, let's try and do this rapid response. Whoa. Yeah, you can't hit the sides or cars or it gives you a time penalty, as you just saw. Oh, and I slammed into that one. And that one. Oh, you fucker! And that was one of mine. Now my joypad is rumbling, and that suggests something's not right. Thought I was going down then. Oh, I don't know how I did that. Jesus Christ, get out of the way. I only just scraped it, but that was enough for it to count as another time penalty. I don't know if I'm going to gog this one. You don't lose times for hitting racers because they are... I'm going to turn my lights off because that's... There you go, so I did gold that one. That's quite handy. I'll put my lights back on so that he knows I'm after him. And I'm also just ploughing into a tree. Fucking hell. Right, let's go after this cunt. And that's taking him out big time. Yeah, he was in a Zonda. Okay, right, let's go back to a... there's a base there. Head to there. And, well, there you go. That's a pretty good taste of what Need for Speed Rivals is all about. So how do I rate it? I think it's fantastic. I would go so far as to say it is the best Need for Speed game that is out at the moment. Now I know a lot of people don't agree with that, and for various reasons, but the one that I see the most is also the most ridiculous, and that is that it doesn't support a steering wheel, which they then used to say it ruins the realism. We're talking about a game where you're driving around in cars that send out electrostatic pulses and you know, uses some sort of electronic gadgets to smash other cars off the road. We're also talking about a game that has, you know, police cars that are Koenigsegg 1-1s. We're also talking about a game that if you see some of the jumps you make in this game, and the cars do those without getting a scratch, and you know, people then talk about lack of realism because it doesn't support a steering wheel. It's a fucking arcade game, out and out, so treat it as one. So yeah, the whole idea of, you know, it's no good because it doesn't support a steering wheel is fucking laughable and contemptible. Graphics wise, I think it's fantastic, but with a improviso there. The graphics are a bit twitchy. Sometimes you load it up and they are as glitchy as hell, and they make the game look fucking awful. And indeed, the go that I was having before I loaded the game up again to do this video, that was the case then. Thankfully for this video, they're fine. In fact, well, I say thankfully, I wasn't going to show it while it was all glitchy. Well, maybe I should, just to give you an idea of how bad it can look when that happens. So yeah, graphics are superb when they work, and the speeds that they run at when you're going, you know, when you're in a Koenigsegg 1-1 and you're doing, you know, about 270 mph, it absolutely flies by. It just looks superb. The gameplay, the cars handle fantastic. You know, when you upgraded the cars so that they handle well, they do handle really well, and you can pull off some pretty impressive cornering moves and that, whether it's you know, drifting, you know, doing the old Scandi flick and all this stuff. The gameplay is superb. There's, you know, plenty of variety. Sound wise, the sound effects are great. The things like the police radio and that works really well. The only thing I don't like, and this is a very common complaint with Need for Speed games, is the actual music, the soundtrack. Yet again, all they've done is just pick a load of fucking bullshit, wanky fucking like driving music that's been released by various artists, the vast majority of which is utter shit, and just use that as the in-game music. I mean, as far as the music goes, this game isn't as bad as Most Wanted 2012 or 2013, whatever it was, the second Most Wanted one anyway. I mean, with that one, the game was great. The music was fucking shite of the highest order. So yeah, at least it's not as bad as that, but it is still bad. So an overall score, I've got to give it 9 out of 10. But again, with an exception, and that is this all drive thing. The game loves to try and be like, you know, entirely online with other online players, and I hate that. So the first thing I did when I first got this game was set it to be single player. Actually, I'll tell a lie, it was the second thing I did, because the first time I started it up, I took went out, and of course there were other players there, and I just knew that that was going to be a system that was set up for, you know, abuse. You're going to have, you know, some cunt who's in, you know, like the best car, try and, you know, keep doing, you know, the one-on-one races against somebody who is a level 1, has only just started and has the slowest car in the game, which I think is a Porsche 911 of some description. And that is exactly what happened to me. And as I also knew would happen, because I refused the race, he then kept trying to smash my car up. Now, he fucked it up because he did this right next to a hideout. So all I did was just go in the hideout and he could then fuck off. Yeah, so straight away it was obvious that the community was exactly the sort of people that I was expecting it to be, i.e. a bunch of fucking arseholes. So the first thing you do, or should do, is go into the all drive settings and set it to either single player, which I have, or a private game, or a friends game. So then if you have you know, friends who are playing this, you can join their game, and likewise if you set it to a private game, I think yeah, your friends on, well, in-game friends, not, yeah, the in-game friends can then join that setting. So that way at least you know the people who join it are going to be people you know, and you know, should be alright. And then if you want, you know, no one to join in, which is how I've got it now, then single player. Once you've done that, you're okay. Oh, sorry about that. Right. So yes, so when you have the all drive settings like that, this game gets 9 out of 10, maybe even 9.5 out of 10. If okay, technically this game came out in 2013, but it came out very late 2013. I didn't get it until 2014, so I do look at it as a 2014 release. And if I hadn't bought Dragon Age Inquisition, this would have been my 2014 Game of the Year, no doubt about it. It's that good. So if you are a fan of you know, good arcade racing games, or you are a fan of the, you know, Need for Speed series and you don't have this, then get it now. It's fantastic. You won't regret it one bit. So there you are, Need for Speed Rivals, 9 out of 10, possibly 9.5 out of 10. Definitely recommended. So that brings this video to an end, and we shall see you at the next one.